It's time for another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is Carolina football, specifically Tez Walker, the Tar Heels wide receiver who generated a ton of national attention this season because he was ineligible the first 4 weeks of the season, and then the NCAA finally cleared him. University of North Carolina went to bat hard to get him on the field. When we saw him play, we understood why they did that. Ironically, the Tar Heels are only 4-4 with Tez in uniform. Okay, so what I really wanted to get into is the Tez not playing in the bowl stuff, because, and I waited a few days to do this because I really wanted to sit back and get a gauge on what the public sentiment is about this, and it's kind of torn. I will say that last Thursday night, when I found out that he had entered his name in the draft, the Reese's Senior Bowl he accepted their invitation, so that meant he's in the draft. I wondered right away, I wonder if he's going to play. And it was a little bit of a surprise because I had just talked to him the previous week. He was actually doing some stuff at the Dean Dome, and I talked to him twice, and he gave indication that he was leaning toward coming back. And then obviously he must have gotten really good information back from the NFL. Some of the guys who are interested in getting feedback from the NFL are getting those reports, so to speak, now. Tez got his, liked what he saw, and decided, okay, I got to go cash in now, got to go now. Now, he's not playing in the bowl game, and that shouldn't really come as too much of a surprise. So many guys don't play anymore. When Christian McCaffrey did it in 2016, which, by the way, was the Stanford's bowl game against Carolina in El Paso in the Sun Bowl, it was a big deal, and he got a lot of flack for it, but it made sense. And it very quickly started a trend. So the two schools of thought here are, one, why is Tez not going to play in the bowl game? Why doesn't he just give back to the university one more game? The university went to bat for him, spent a ton of money, stuck their necks out for him, and he gave him 8 games, and then he's off to the NFL. Some people actually think he owes the university to play in this game because of what the university did for him. Now, I can see why someone would think that, because Mack Brown stuck his neck out. On August 8th, we were over at practice. We were supposed to talk to, I think it was Gene Chizik that day, and we're waiting inside the practice facility. Practice had just ended, and Matt comes over, and he tells us about the Tez situation. None of us in the media knew about it, even though it had been going on for quite some time, even during spring practice. And we talked to Tez in spring practice. It never came up. I think that they figured it would have been long resolved by the time fall camp started, but it wasn't. So you guys know the story. You know what happened. But, Mac stuck his neck out there. He blasted the NCAA. They tersely responded. I think it would be fair to say that there was a little friction that came about between UNC and the NCAA, so much that when a bunch of fouls were being called against the Tar Heels basketball team in the Bahamas, people were actually saying stuff like, oh, this is the NCAA out to get us because we beat them on Tez Walker. We got Tez Walker eligible, so they're trying to pay us back. I mean, that's the mentality that a lot of people had, because that's how big a story this was. And I think that in some respects, that's how significant the tension was between North Carolina and the NCAA. And it wasn't for any other reason than to get Tez Walker eligible. Now, who's the beneficiary? Well, North Carolina, the beneficiary, when you get a talent like Tez back. And given the fact that Kobe Paysour got injured and missed the rest of the season, Nate McCollum was in and out being injured the rest of the way, Gavin Blackwell had an issue and really never came back to full strength. They desperately needed Tez. Maybe it didn't appear so through the first few games, but they desperately needed him, and they went 4-4 with him. Who knows what they would have gone if they didn't have him, if everything else also occurred with the attrition in the wide receiver room. So they needed him. But I think what's interesting is when Matt kept talking about Tez's livelihood. And so people were saying, yeah, the NFL fine you if you can. Guys from Kent State get to the NFL, guys from the MAC guys from the Sun Belt, guys from those leagues get to the NFL. They do. But Mac was right, though. Getting week in, week out film against Power Fives was huge, and that's what Tez needed. And that's one of the reasons why some people in the program thought he might come back, just to get a full season of film against Power Five teams. But Mac was right. He said, look, this is his livelihood. And sure enough, after 8 games, he's off to the NFL. So he achieved what Mac wanted him to achieve. If you go back and look at Mac's comments at the time, their whole point was, you're taking this opportunity away from him. Well, he was cleared. He played 8 games, and now that opportunity did spring him to this next level because he's going to go to the NFL. So the two sides are, hey, wait a minute. They did all that for him. Just give him one more game. Play at a 5:30 kickoff, December 27th, Duke's Mayo Bowl against West Virginia, because you owe the program, you owe the fans. That's one line of thinking. The other line of thinking is, man, there is no point in playing that game. He got injured against Georgia Tech. He could get injured again against West Virginia. And the whole purpose of Carolina pushing to get him eligible, with the narrative being, this is about Tez. This is about his future and him reaching his dreams and goals of playing in the NFL and being able to cash in. If he gets injured in that game, that nullifies all that. So I can see why someone would say, yeah, you know what? He owes. He's got to play. Finish this thing out. You only played 8 games. Finish it out. But I can also understand the side saying, look, you've done what you've done. You got hurt against Georgia Tech, but you're fine afterward. There's no need to risk it. Go live your dream, man. Go be the best you can be. I see both sides. I lean a little bit more on the latter. I think, you know what? You get this shot once. For all intents and purposes, it's an exhibition game. Dudes are opting out of bowl games all over the place. There's no point in risking injury for what is essentially an exhibition game when you are an absolute lock for the NFL, in my opinion. Now, if you're a fringe draft guy and maybe you need another game of film, that's a different story. Maybe if Tez got slightly different feedback from the league and he needed another game to really show what he could do, maybe he plays and gets another game of film on the record, and it helps him with his goal of getting to the next level. I don't know. None of that's the case, so really not even worth diving into. But there are two succinct schools of thought that are very different here. And enough people have shared both sentiments. I would love to know what you guys think. I lean a little bit more on don't play. It's not worth it. But I get the other side too. So I'd like to know what you guys think. Let us know. Respond here on Twitter. If you see this video through Twitter, if you see it through our Facebook page, respond there, or come on over to our site for just $8.33 a month. You can be a Carolina insider as well. And guess what, guys? You can give a subscription as a gift. A 1-year subscription is just $8.33 a month. There is a ton of stuff that is premium behind the paywall. We have to have a paywall so we can exist, so we can survive and continue to thrive as a business and a media outlet. So head on over to TarHeelIllustrated.com, sign up, sign some friends up, and you're going to get a ton of this information, and you'll get a lot more thoughts about Tez and other guys there that are never going to make it to any of these podcasts. So give us your thoughts, guys. Let us know, what side of the aisle are you on? Make sure you go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. You get updates every time we upload, and share the video. Let your Carolina fans know that we're here. Thanks for stopping by.